Today, we're going to look at two of the tools of the Northern Shaman, the drum and the stave. We're going to look at their uses, their similarities, the pros and cons of both. If you want to honor the land, connect with your ancestors, witness the gods, and save Midgard, you're in the right place. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing and then hit that bell so you don't miss any future episodes. Hey there, you beautiful heathen. I'm Matt Sargent. Welcome to Iowa's Initiations. Thanks for tuning in. As I said, today we're talking about two of the tools of the Northern Shaman, the Vitki, the Volva, the Seidrkona, the Seidman, the Seidrkona, the drum, and the stave. Both of the tools are used as a percussive tool which helps achieve an altered state of consciousness. When using percussion to achieve this altered state of mind, to reach that theta brain state, it's best to be using a beat per second of 4 to 4.5 beats per second, which is pretty fast. This helps achieve a state of consciousness by really drowning out all of your external realities and giving you something out of the ordinary that your mind focuses on and helps you shift into the subconscious. The percussion is especially powerful when combined with other techniques such as breath work and scent triggers. I personally like to burn mugwort. My wife makes these beautiful smudge sticks out of mugwort that we grow and harvest on our land. If you're interested, there's a link in the show notes, but check out Two Poppies Apothecary. She's got all sorts of other great herbal goods that are either wildcrafted or that we grow on our property. But we know that mugwort is a powerful, it in and of itself is considered to be slightly psychedelic, and it is a prized herb of the Northmen and was used for very similar purposes. And I only burn mugwort when I'm looking to achieve a trance state. And personally, I'm at the point where with just breath and the mugwort, I can achieve trance. I don't always use the stave or the drum, but they are powerful allies and powerful tools in the bag of tricks. As I've said before, if you want to learn more about trance, definitely first leave a comment in the show notes saying that you want to learn more about trance, what you're struggling with, what your personal roadblocks are, and I'll help you break those roadblocks. Another great resource is Diane Paxton's Transportation. There will be a link to that in the show notes as well. The drum is a tool that is used by all cultures. We know that the pre-Christian Scandinavians had drums. We haven't uncovered many in archaeological finds, but when you consider the fact that drums are made out of hide and wood, they don't really, they're not too well preserved when buried or whatnot. They tend to rot out relatively quick. So while we know that they used drums, we don't know how they used them. And the drum is often considered a symbol of shaman. Many cultures that had shamanic practices utilized a drum for the shamanic work. And it is assumed that since the neighbors of the Scandinavians, the Samis, used drums in their spiritual and trance work, that so did the Norsemen, the pre-Christian Scandinavians. But we don't know for certain that they did. There's no evidence of it in the lore. That said, many modern heathens who practice save work really like their drums. I'm a huge fan of my drum. I do like to break it out occasionally. Actually more than occasion. It is a powerful tool and a trusted ally. One of the things that I prefer about the drum when compared to the stave is that, at least for me, when we're talking about achieving that 4 to 4.5 beats per second, it's easier for me to get that when beating my drum than when tapping my stave. Although both tools you can reach that, for me personally, it's easier with a drum. It might be because I learned how to play the drum in a band back in the day. Never went to band camp though. Wish I had a band camp story. However, for me, the big drawback about the drum as opposed to the stave is if I'm going out into the wilderness, it's a lot harder to carry this. I don't have a good pack for it. I really cherish this. It was made by a good friend of mine, and I don't want to damage it. And I get worried about taking it on more exposed hikes out into the wilderness. So for me, I use the drum on my land and my house, outside of my house, places where I don't have to travel too far to get to where I'm going to travel in my brain or in my mind. So that is the one drawback of the drum for me. Do you take your drum out in the wilderness? If so, let me know. And then this is my stave. It's really nothing fancy. It's a stick. I know a lot of people have far more ornate staves. When I got started in this work, I definitely had one that I had carved runes in, and it had crystals and feathers. And when I started tapping on it, using it for percussion, a lot of the ornamentation fell apart. And over time, I found that they just did not travel well. I found that the ornamental staves just really didn't hold up. And so this is what I use now. And as far as using it as a stave, it provides the sound I need. One drawback to a stave, especially when you're outside, depending on the ground that you're on, sometimes you can't get the same percussive sound. So a lot of Vitki or Volva will use a stave and tine, or their stave and their gander, or their gand. Personally, I don't use a gand in my work. I don't carry one with me. If I am concerned, or if I try and use it, and I find that the ground's too soft to get a good percussive beat, I just find a nearby stick and use it just like you would a gand to. And that's a great way to get that faster beat per second in case you can't do that. It's far more portable. And the other benefit of the stave is that we know, according to the lore, that the Volva is described as having a staff, and the Allfather is often portrayed as having either his spear or stave, and it's assumed that he would use the spear the same way that the Volva might, as far as inducing a trance state. So that's it. That's how you use the stave or the drum to achieve a trance state. That said, if you want to learn more